Thank you very much. The feedback during the last couple of hours when I was wandering around talking to you guys, sometimes we have to say a lot in a little period of time. And I brought up something that's very passionate to me is stopping Common Core. And I've given everybody in here the best of my ability one of these cards. I know a lot of you have been following the Tea Party movement for a while, and there's no bigger name in Tea Party movement in Alabama than Ann Eubank. And I call her my general. General Eubank put out a Facebook post yesterday. She's in Greenville, South Carolina, going door to door for Ted Cruz in the snow. And she said, I'm too Southern for this. Ann and I started on the Stop Common Core movement in separate rooms. We really did. And we met up trying to convince the Alabama legislature about things. And as I said when I started today, I don't want to talk to you about the standards of Common Core. I want to talk to you about federal infiltration of the classroom. And it should scare you what they're capable of doing, but you already know. I handed everybody one of these cards, and I've got more of them down here. This is not just for you, but Ann has agreed to take the pack and to run with it. So that we can make a difference. We've made a difference up to this point, but when Ann gets through campaigning on the stuff she's doing right now, if you'll notice on the back of the card, it says, would you help elect candidates who will repeal Common Core? Basically what that is will you help the PAC elect candidates who will stand up for freedom? The amount of money that's asked for is $17.73 a month. That was the original Boston Tea Party date, 1773. There are more of these cards. Please share this, scan it, post it to your Facebook, do whatever you want to do. But Ann would be here today if she were not in South Carolina. She told me to wish y'all all well. And I know many of you asked me about her today. Had I talked to her since she got caught ankle deep in snow, I said, she's not used to that. But I also handed out an emergency preparedness guide. I only have a limited number of these that I get each year, but if you'll turn it over and look on the back, this thing is published by the Alabama Department of Public Health. The Center for Emergency Preparedness, you can go to this website, you can request that your group be sent copies of this. And I'll tell you how I use it. It is a great icebreaker for conversation. Now, I had several people ask me, when and where do I do my 2.5-hour show on emergency preparedness? I do it in your town. Draw me 50 people. I'll come, I'll bring everything. You don't need, all you need is a meeting place and 50 people. But you got to give me 2.5 hours. Because if we're going to talk about emergency preparedness, and this is the group of people that are probably mostly more prepared than I am, but I've been in it a long time. You can download the FEMA guideline. The book is 204 pages to emergency preparedness. And I recommend everybody in this room to do that. It is very clear as to what the Federal Emergency Management Agency believes is coming. There are pages that talk about electromagnetic pulses, how to do Faraday's, why to do Faraday's, how to prepare for nuclear dusting. It's all there. And if you would just go and download that, 204 pages, please print it out. Please. You will need that book in the future if you don't already have it. But I teach a good bit of my classes from that book. And the reason why is because CERT, the Community Emergency Response Team training that we all go through, CERT is based on the whole FEMA guideline. And don't be scared of downloading that book. They've never come and knocked on my door, even though I have talked to a few of the guys that are involved with them, and they appreciate what all of us do that are willing to pick up the mantle. And I don't know, many of y'all are probably volunteers like I am with Salvation Army or Red Cross or whoever you do it with. But being prepared is one of the simplest things to do once you get your head straight that it has to be a habit. So the two things I'm asking you to do today, a plan of action. One is to help Ann build this coalition of conservative, constitutional-minded people that will help repeal Common Court and stand up for all of our rights. And the other one is order some of your emergency preparedness guides. It is a great thing. It's a great tool to have in your car at all times, but it's a great conversation starter. And everybody I gave one to today took a good look at it, and I watched. Many of y'all were looking all through it because it's a handy thing. Most of you already know all this, but it's a handy guide. But it's a great icebreaker, and it's free. All you got to do is go to that website or call the headquarters of the Department of Public Health, Center for Emergency Preparedness. They only have a couple of employees in Montgomery, but whenever they've got a fresh printing on this, they'll get it out to you. Okay? There's my old bird hunting buddy, Bill Gooseby. What is he doing right now? He's looking through the emergency preparedness book. And you didn't know I had these, did you, Bill? Yeah. I've been doing this for a couple of years. And Bill is Twinkle's campaign guy. I hope y'all all had a chance to talk to Bill and Twinkle. They're all about number 2. That is Second Amendment. I mean, she is a politician. Come on, give me that one. Love her. We were talking about the battles with the media. And the statistic about the number of women that are having to defend their homesteads. Well, there are a lot of single women out there, not just moms that are married, but moms that are single, and then just single women in general. But I downloaded something the other day that really got my attention. And this is from 2013 with a media group who polled uniformed officers, law enforcement officers. And one of the staring statistics in this thing is, should citizens be required to complete a safety training class before allowed to buy a gun? Okay, 50-50. All right, we go through a lot of things. But uniformed officers, 15,000 of these were polled. 14,515 responses on this. Do you support the concept of a national database tracking all legal gun sales? Overwhelmingly, over 70% of the uniformed officers said no. Why? Because it restricts freedom. So don't let these media people tell you that, oh, well, the Sheriff's Association is this, or the Police Officers Union this, or whatever. No. Do you believe that use of a firearm while perpetrating a crime should result in a stiff mandatory sentence with no plea bargains? 91% of uniformed officers, yes. Yes. Now, I'm going to lay this out for all of you, and you can copy down the website, but anytime you get in an argument, here's the one that I want for you to remember. These are uniformed officers. 14,200 of them responded to this. Do you support the concealed carry of firearms by civilians who have not been convicted of a felony or have not been deemed psychologically or medically incapable? 91.3%. I don't know how much closer you can get to. Most uniformed officers would like to see us as their backup. How many of y'all have ever done ride-alongs with law enforcement? I do. I love it. They need us. They need us to understand what they're doing, and I need them. So I just wanted to bring those kind of things up so that you could say, hey, I've got an argument for you, Mr. Gun Grabber. Considering the particulars of recent tragedies, what level of impact do you think a legally armed citizen could have made? 87% of the people said if that had been a concealed carry on site, the impact would have been greatly reduced. 87. Why is that not 100? Because some people believe the big media lies. If not, we wouldn't get some of the elected people we get. Here's a good one for you. Do you support arming teachers and/or school administrators who volunteer to carry at their school? 14,022 uniformed officers responded. 80.3% said yes. 80%. I don't know where the Alabama Sheriff's Association gets its figures, but it's nothing that I read that agrees with that. So you can, what do you believe is the biggest cause of gun violence in the United States? You know what the number one is? Decline in parenting and family values. You can find that at the Media Research Center. I'll lay this out if y'all want to come copy anything about that. It'll be up here on stage along with more of the Stop Common Core cards. And this was my going away statement. If it wasn't so darn painful, I'd laugh. Every day I hear politician after politician say how pro-Second Amendment they are while voting to give away our gun rights. They get endorsed because they did something right one time, but they're still restricting your rights. And it's not just your gun rights, it's all rights. 1,200 bills introduced pretty much every year in the Alabama legislature. 1,200. But yet the Constitution of Alabama calls for them to do one thing, and that is pass a balanced budget. And in 2012, they wouldn't do that, and they stole from the trust fund and convinced you to do it. Folks, they're not doing the job. And they're being helped and given cover by so-called grassroots groups who keep telling their members, well, it's the best deal we can get right now. That's called compromise. Whoever told you to compromise? We're no compromise. We want constitutional carry. It didn't take me long hanging around these guys to figure out, hey, okay, this is a no compromise group. We're not infiltrated by people from the other side, as some of the groups are. You and I are now in the minority. It's not talking about race, creed, sex, or anything. I'm talking about morals, beliefs, and the ultimate responsibility. We, the people in this room, we're in a minority. We have accepted the responsibility of protecting our rights, and now we have to do something about it. So my plan of action to you today is support Ann and the Stop Common Core package and spread this word. Recruit members to this group. It will continue to be the most effective voice for the armed citizen in this state from now on. Thank y'all.